All right, so we just had our first episode of merging yourself or merging ourselves. I don't know what we're going to call it. Like a centipede, human centipede type of a podcast where I take random contacts in my phone and I blend them together. And with that, I just had a random person call me. His name is Mike McCullough. And he's going to be the next guest on this. I just got off the phone. Mike, you don't know this yet, but I merged Joe Brassard with Kyle Pierce. They both own the same house. And so I thought I would bring them together and we could talk about a lot of the different similarities that they have. And so now with you, I'm going to randomly choose somebody from my phone that I think you might match up well. Have you ever seen Love is Blind?
I have not.
So what they do is they put two people in pods and they see if they can match up. It's just random people together. They don't see each other first. They just talk to each other, and they see if they can become best friends. So I'm gonna randomly call somebody in my phone and see if you become their best friend. Does that work?
Let's do it.
Mike McCullough, tell a little bit something about yourself real quick while I get that going.
Ambulance driver, hockey player, video games. Father of 2. Fantasy football curse.
All right, hold on a second. Give me, you know what? Let me do a quick interview on you. What are some favorite things that you like?
Well, we're going to go with Seahawks.
Okay.
And following all of that, we're going to go with, we got the video games, PC, Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah. Mixed martial arts. I can talk about that all day.
Okay. Like Taekwondo or Jiu-Jitsu?
Maybe not the specifics on everything, but as far as like upcoming fights and things like that.
Okay. Okay, put it on hold again.
What up?
Hey, so I'm doing a new segment. You got about 20
Okay.
You got about 20 minutes?
What is it?
Well, I just did it with Kyle. Did Kyle tell you about it yet? Okay, so what I'm doing is I watched Love is Blind. And in Love is Blind, people, they don't see each other first. They're in pods. They talk with each other, and through that, they determine if love is blind. Can you just fall in love with someone's personality without actually meeting and seeing them and hanging out with them? And so what I'm going to do now is I've got somebody on my back line. I did this with Kyle, and I brought him and Joe Brassard together because they shared things together. They used to own a house. It was the same house. And they actually talked for about 30 minutes, and we all had a nice time recording. So I've got someone on my back line that you've never met. I want to see if you gel with them. Do you feel comfortable with that?
Sure.
All right. So real quick before I bring them on, can we say your name? Who am I speaking with right now?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Mike Martinez.
And what are some things that you enjoy in life? Give me like some hobbies and some fun things that you like.
Golf, basketball, sports, watching football.
Okay.
That kind of stuff.
All right. So you've never met this guy. You guys kind of match already on sports. There's some sports that you don't. He might actually be a little bit more of a better match with Bobby in some of it, but I feel like there's going to be the majority of him is going to be more focused with what you have. So we're going to bring him in. I'm not saying names. We're just going forward with it. Okay. Here he comes.
Okay.
All right. So what I've done is I've merged these two. Call me a Tinder app. Call me Love is Blind. Call me whatever you want. But I have brought these two people together. They do share a similarity in one thing for sure, but they do have other things involved. I don't know if I should even mention names, but I'm going to anyways. This is an evolving show. We've got Mike McCullough, who's meeting Mike Martinez for the first time. Mike McCullough, have you ever met Mike Martinez before?
I have not.
Do you know who he is?
I do not.
Mike Martinez, do you know who Mike McCullough is?
I do not.
All right. Well, this is great. Mike, Mike McCullough, how old are you?
I am 34 years old.
Mike Martinez, how old are you?
36.
Mike McCullough, how many kids do you have?
2.
What are their ages and what are their names and all that?
Riley is going to turn 5 tomorrow, and then Bradley is 7, turning 8 in July.
Did you say Riley and Briley?
Bradley and Riley.
Oh, Riley and Brad. Are they girls or boys? Because I know girls can have Riley and Bradley and all that. So
Riley is a girl, Bradley is a boy.
okay. Mike, could you say the names and everything for your kids as well, ages and all that?
Yep. Jalen she is 11. Addison is 8. And Kendall is 4. All girls.
Where do you live, Mike McCullough?
Puyallup, South Hill.
And what do you do for your job?
Driving.
Drive a what?
Ambulance.
And then, Mike, what do you do?
I work for Boeing, living in McCullough.
And you also and some of your hobbies is sports. You guys both said that. One of the things you guys matched on in Travis's Tinder world is Seahawks. Now, with the Seahawks, how long have you been fans of the Seahawks? Mike Martinez, go first this time.
Oh, I'd say probably 2011.
Mike McCullough?
I believe it was 2003, 2004.
So a longer fanship. Fantasy football. You guys are both in it because Mike Martinez, you're in one of my leagues, and Mike McCullough, you're in one of my leagues. I commission the league that you're in, Mike McCullough. We're going to talk about fantasy football. You guys definitely match there. Mike McCullough, who is the greatest top 3, would you say, fantasy football players that you would draft right now if you could? Free on the market.
All right. You got to go Lamar Jackson. I think that he's, because of the running, quarterback, he's going to get massive points. I actually think that Hopkins would be a little interesting with Kyler Murray throwing it to him.
Okay.
And then running backs this year are going to be a little.
So who's your running back?
Yeah, I'll have to go back on that one. Think about it because that's going to be kind of tough. But wide receiver, I think Hopkins is going to be probably in top 3.
Got to go with the running back. Let's go. Think about it. Let's go. Throw someone out. Gurley obviously got released today.
Gurley's done.
Yeah. So
Seahawks ain't going to be nobody for them. I see Henry having another good year.
Derrick Henry. Okay. Mike, give me your top 3 fantasy football players that you could draft right now. I like the quarterback, wide receiver, running back. Do the same thing. Who you picking? You can grab anybody.
I'm going to go crazy with Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, and I'm going to put Saquon Barkley in there.
Ooh.
A healthy Saquon Barkley.
A healthy one. Good pick. Okay, so fantasy football, that's one thing. Real football, okay? You have to draft a quarterback, running back, wide receiver. Mike McCullough, you can draft anybody. Who's your quarterback?
Non-biased, Russell Wilson. I think that he makes anybody better around him. I think a lot of the people on our team, we've proven with like Paul Richardson, he goes somewhere else, Jermaine Kearse, whatever. So Russell Wilson, running back, I think Barkley. He's a special talent. So that's what I go with there. Wide receiver, just because he's Seahawks doesn't matter. I think within the next 5 years, you'll see us next Julio Jones. I think DK Metcalf.
Okay, all right, I like it. Mike Martinez, you can draft anybody you want, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, NFL, non-fantasy. Who you picking?
Yeah, it's going to sound similar. I'm going Russ. I'm going Saquon. And I'm probably going to go with I like DeAndre Hopkins a lot at receiver. Probably DeAndre Hopkins at receiver.
I just feel like I'm making best friendships going right now, and I like that. Now, Mike McCullough, do you think that Lamar Jackson, is he overrated? Is he a running quarterback only? Is he a threat with the pass? Would you call him a top 5 elite quarterback, or would you call him flash in the pan, not going to do it next year? They figured him out in the playoffs, and that's how. So he's going to kind of go away next year. What's your thoughts on Lamar Jackson?
Now, I know I said I'd pick him in fantasy, but I think he's a flash in the pan. I think that every mobile quarterback gets figured out from, Vic, when Russell hit into the league, Kaepernick was big, RG3. Russell's the only one there that could throw it accurately. And if you watch that skills competition with Jackson, dude just missing these targets like crazy. And I mean, they're having to teach him how to throw the ball again and stuff. I think that within the next few years, he's going to get, old line start falling apart. He's going to get figured out.
Mike Martinez, just curious on what your thought is. I don't think I've ever heard it before. What's your thought, Mike?
I couldn't agree any more with what you just said.
Mike McCullough, I already know what Mike Martinez knows about him, and I think literally you guys are sitting in the same room, and Mike Martinez just wrote out what to say and handed it to you. Like, I don't think Mike Martinez was any more like when he said I couldn't agree with him more. He was legit couldn't agree with you anymore. That was incredible. Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. That was a top 5 moment on the podcast of my life. I think that was just literally amazing. All right, Mike McCullough. I know Mike Martinez a little bit more because we text in threads and this and that. So I'm gonna ask you,
all right,
what's more important? Like, let's say your team is just getting throttled in the first half, and you go into halftime, and then. Should the coach make adjustments? Is it up to the player to execute? Like, who's the one that should step up at what point and start to direct the narrative of the game? Who is it?
Well, I think that you're going to have leaders on both sides of the ball. So it's going to – if somebody's getting blown out, it's both sides of the ball are being the problem here. For the most part, I mean, the offense could be turning it over down in their own red zone and stuff like that. But ultimately, the coach needs to kind of fire them up a little bit, but the players need to start executing. Maybe for little things.
Very, very, very good. But let's say that it's consistent. You're running every first down, and then you're passing the second down. It's turning into a third down play almost every single drive. It's coming down to a third and long. And you're running
real
it.
Seahawks then, right?
Real Seahawks here. So is it the coach that needs to adjust, or is it the player on the third down that needs to figure it out, or second, third down? Like what do you do? Who do you put the blame on?
Well, I mean, if the quarterback is having to listen to the offensive coordinator, what the head coach is telling him to do, and he's not audible, I mean, you could argue that he's probably more on the play calling. Because I can't tell you how many times I'm screamed at the TV with, hey, we're going to run it on first down. Now we're going to throw a pass along the line of scrimmage and then try to set up a screen when no one's even blocking. And then you get into these third down situations where, I said he jumped offside for 5 yards. Now it's, 3rd and 12. So I think that it more so lies on the play calling than the execution for the most part. But obviously, the little fundamentals need to be there too, that specifically the Seahawks were lacking last year.
So, Mike Martinez, what's your thoughts?
I mean, again, couldn't agree more. Like, we just have the most predictable scheme ever. And it's like, well, that wide receiver should have caught it on 3rd and 16. That's his fault for not catching it. I'm like, if they were 3rd and 16 again. I can see if he's not catching on a 3rd and 2, like cramming his sakes.
Oh my gosh.
The Seahawks have potentially the best quarterback, arguably in the league, with the most, he's going to make something out of nothing, and yet they do the most predictable plays, probably almost out of any team in the league.
hands down the most frustrating team in the league to watch. The Seahawks.
Yeah.
Love them to death, but my God, entirely frustrating. Or how about the scheme when it's like, hey, let's go down by 17 points before we start actually trying to do anything that's even edgy, right? That I don't know. I just hate the scheme they play. I love Pete Carroll. I hate Pete Carroll's system.
Yeah, it worked initially, and then it just stayed the same. That's why the Patriots are always so good. It's because Belichick be scheming for every single team.
Yeah, and there's no throttle back. Like, they're going to go win by 30, and they'll do it every game if they can. The Hawks, get up by 14 and going to prevent everything. It's just gross to watch. It's gross to watch.
Yeah, look at the Falcon game. What were you up by? Was it 24-3 or something like that?
Yeah.
And then they had their shitty Matt Ryan quarterback that, Matt Ryan was out. So they had their backup in. He threw for 450 yards against us.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Love to watch that. It's really good for fans,
You guys don't understand how great I feel right now bringing you two together. One thing that Mike McCullough brought up is that he's a big video gamer, loves video game. What type, Mike? What McCullough? What system do you got?
Well, I have PS4, Xbox, and a game on PC. I really don't play the PlayStation. It's just kind of sitting there collecting dust.
What do you usually play then?
So currently, right now, I'm playing NHL 20 on Xbox and the new Call of Duty on PC.
And the new Call of Duty, is that the Warzone, Warfare, whatever it's called?
Yeah, I had the full version, so I was playing that already before, but then I have been playing that Battle Royale.
Do you like it, or did you play the old COD, the COD 4 or whatever it was that had the Battle Royale as well?
Oh, yeah, I played that one. I think that I like the more realistic tones to the newer one.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it, and it's free to play too. So
Mike,
anybody can try it.
Martinez, what do you think?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, I made the switch from the PC to Xbox a while ago, but there was no. I just got tired of the people hacking and stuff on the PC. It got really bad for a while, so that's when I made the jump to console. But also, I don't really do a lot of sports games. Just the Call of Duties is really what I've been playing the last about a year. Doing Blackout and Call of Duty 4, and now trying the new Warzone. Not a huge fan of it. I think it's more. I think Travis, you like PUBG. I think it's more PUBG-ish than Blackout was, but I just haven't got used to it yet.
I feel like it's kind of a combination between the base Blackout Battle Royale and then that Alcatraz mode. I thought Alcatraz was the best.
Alcatraz was cool. I was never a huge fan of the in a Battle Royale, the respawn or the redrop, on the new one you can buy your players back in and stuff. Well, it's just like when you're done, you're done. But if you're going looking to get a bunch of kills and stuff, Alcatraz is cool. But I just don't like the gunplay. The gunplay feels very PUBG-ish, where it's every shot recoils up past your head, and I don't know. Maybe I just haven't found the right combo weapons yet, but.
No, the loadout thing too in the Battle Royale, where you can drop your own guns in.
Yeah.
Everyone's just using that infrared sniper rifle. It's kind of corny.
Yeah. I just haven't played it enough. I played a few games and I just jumped back onto Blackout. Call it before. So still playing that.
It's so good.
Do you guys typically play with the same? Obviously, you guys don't know the same people, but you're a group of 4, 5, 6, whatever. Do you play with the same group no matter what game? Kind of you guys all graduate to the next game and play that as a group, or do you find new players? Mike Martinez, go ahead.
Oh, it's usually the same group. I've got guys on Xbox I've been friends with for 15 years, even the Xbox consoles have gone through. So there's a lot of guys that played all the way back to Call of Duty, the original Modern Warfare, all the way up to now the new Modern Warfare. So yeah, I've been generally the same group of people.
What about you, Mike McCullough?
Same here. Yeah, we got my two buddies from high school, and then all hockey buddies and stuff you still play with. So you got to have that chemistry.
Have you ever been a teammate or someone that you play with quite a bit that you've never met before? It's been years. You've played together for years and years, but you've never actually met them in real life yet.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can say that. I have. Yeah.
Mike McCullough?
Yes. Yeah. One person. The rest are all pretty close friends.
And do you still play with them?
Yeah.
How long have you been married, Mike McCullough?
11 years in September.
Mike Martinez?
14 years. 2005. I don't know. It's math. This will be year 15, I guess.
Graduation year, Mike Martinez.
2003.
Mike McCullough.
2003.
Are you serious?
Well, half of it. Yeah.
What high school though? Obviously Martinez was EHS. What about you?
Kent Meridian.
Did you guys play? Did you play any sports, Mike McCullough?
Just hockey.
No sport. No high school sports.
No high school sports. No.
Yeah, neither did Mike Martinez. Did.
I'm glad that you found humor in that.
Mike McCullough. Let's see. What else could I? Do you have any siblings?
I have a sister who lives out in Montana.
Okay, long distance sister. Mike Martinez. Do you?
Also, a sister in New York and a brother here in Uniclau.
Brother Bobby. That's who Mike's brother is. He's a big jiu-jitsu type of guy. Mike McCullough. What? Are you talking that? Do you train or do you just watch?
Just watch.
And do you watch like just MMA or do you watch all sorts of other things?
So back in the day, it was for sure just UFC and Pride FC. Now, yeah, I'll stream at UFC if it's a decent fight.
Mike Martinez?
I just watch as well. I've gone with Bobby a few times and rolled with him, but I just watch.
Oldest child, Mike, how old, or McCullough, how old again? What grade? Mike McCullough?
Oh, 34 for me, and yes, the siblings are 4 years older.
Yeah, no, I mean, how old's your oldest child?
Oh, oldest child, sorry. 7.5.
Oh, okay. Mike, how old is Addie?
Addie's 8.
Okay, so about the same. Girl. Have you guys ever, I know Mike Martinez's answer to this, Mike McCullough, have you ever coached a team?
I have not.
Mike Martinez, talk him out of it.
Yeah. Just don't coach your daughter's team.
my brother-in-law coaches his daughter's basketball.
Do they play for the McCullough team at all? Mike McCullough.
Oh, yours or mine?
No, your brother-in-law's that he coaches.
No, he's out in Montana.
Oh, okay. All right. They don't have 14-year-olds playing against 10-year-olds. Is that what you're saying?
It could be. It could be.
Has your
tomahawk jams down on these kids.
Has your brother-in-law almost been kicked out and had a game end early because of a game that they've had?
He's pretty calm dude, but he's had some of his teammates. Like they had the last game, they only had 3 players.
Mike Martinez, any stories about that you want to share?
Oh, it's been pretty good,
Okay, so I guess you don't want to share any stories. Okay, I got you. Mike McCullough, do you own Boeing stock?
I do not.
Good idea.
I think if you own any stock right now,
it's not looking good right now.
If you have any stock, it's painful.
It is painful.
Start keeping money on the walls or something.
Mike McCullough, you're an ambulance driver. You're currently probably not quarantined. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Do you get a lot of calls for people that might have, hey, I think I got Corona. I think I got Corona. Do you ever get those calls or no?
Not specifically thinking they have it, but potentially. So we'd have to, get all geared up with the mask, goggles, gown, gloves.
So because the mask, do you guys have a mask shortage at all or no?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they want us to, unless it's a confirmed case, reuse the mask.
Oh, really? So if someone's just like bleeding out of their gut because they got shot and you got blood just splurting all over it, they're like, hey, doesn't have Corona, so just go ahead and use that again.
That's what they'd want. I'm definitely throwing that one away.
Do you ever play games like Blackout or whatever, and where they you can run and also give yourself a med unit, and the whole time you're thinking, this is so unrealistic. This would never heal you. Do you ever think that?
No, not too much. I try to think about it. I'm going to ruin the experience.
This would never work. This is bullcrap. This whole game sucks. Oh. Well, I said it'd be a half an hour, and I'm a man on my word. I'm going to keep it a half hour, so I think that's where we're at. So, Mike Martinez, any closing statement? How do you feel this Tinder match went? Do you feel like this was pretty good? Felt pretty comfortable? Like, you know what, this sounds like a guy that you could watch a game with and agree with every bad play call that the Seahawks use. You guys would high five and hate on the game together.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
What about you, Mike McCullough? Do you feel like you would enjoy hanging out with Mike Martinez and watch a game and also hate on the play calling by Pete Carroll and the offensive coordinator?
Absolutely. The only problem, and I've always felt this way, is when you have a person that's the same name as you, it gets pretty confusing. So you're talking to yourself a little bit.
That's why last names were invented. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for listening. Another episode of My Phone Contacts Human Centipede, where we merge calls together, merge friends together, and make them lifelong friends as well. If you guys want, you guys let me know. I'll get you guys in contact with each other. I'll give you guys each other's information, and you guys can play video games with each other if you guys want. If not, no big deal. But thank you very much for playing another, or being on. I feel like I'm playing playing another game of. But thanks for being on an episode, guys. Appreciate both of you guys.
All right, see ya.
All right, have a good night. Later, guys. I'm hanging up. Wow. Just another match made in Mike heaven. I've never seen two people be named the same and yet feel like they're the same person when it comes to the Seahawks or Lamar Jackson. That was insane. Everyone, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate both of you. And the three of you listening. And have a wonderful day. Take care.